Henry and the Swans and Rats. Henry was balancing carefully on a fallen branch. He knew it was a silly thing to do, but sometimes life teased you with the chance of an adventure that carried a bit of a risk. He knew if he tumbled that it would not be too serious, but just serious enough that he could feel his heart drumming against his chest. Reaching the other end safely gave him a rush of exhilaration, and he let out a whoop of success. Brown Rat had been sunning herself by Lily Pad Pond, and leapt up in terror at the unexpected noise. "It's only me," said Henry, "having a dollop of fun this fine morning. So sorry to scare you. Do you want to play some football with me?" Brown Rat's eyes popped with pleasure, as it was her favourite game. Their happiness oiled the clocks, and the time rushed by. Soon their tummies were complaining. They paused to devour some melons that Henry had brought, juice squirting over their faces. As they let the melon's sweetness work its magic, Black Rat came and hungrily munched the leftovers. Henry, who was much slower than Brown Rat and just couldn't stop her scoring, asked Black Rat to join his team to even things up. "No way," said Brown Rat. "I'm off." Black Rat looked wounded, as though she had been struck by an invisible missile. The afternoon went as quickly as the morning, and this time Henry managed to score as many goals as Black Rat. The next day Henry had arranged to have a mushroom lunch with Black Rat at the Black Alder stall. When the waitress brought their food, it was none other than Brown Rat. "If you think I'm eating that," said Black Rat, "you're mistaken. I'm off." Brown Rat looked wounded, as though she had been struck by a missile. Henry was very puzzled. Who was launching these invisible missiles, and why? After licking an elderberry ice cream deliberately slowly to make the taste last forever, he sauntered down the thistle path towards the great lake. A beautiful black swan was oiling her feathers and enjoying the gentle breeze. She had spent the morning collecting pondweed, stonewort, and widgeon grass, and was resting now, ready for her friend to arrive. White Swan came into view, gliding effortlessly across the liquid blue. On meeting, they entwined their elegant necks in friendship, and Black Swan presented all her morning's work, a feast for them to share. Dragonflies flashed colours around them, as though twinkling lights were celebrating their friendship, and laughter rippled between them as they shared stories and caught up with each other's news. It was a scene of happiness and harmony. From one bank of the lake, Brown Rat had been watching the swans, mirrored by Black Rat watching from the other bank. As they watched, something seemed to happen inside them, as though a door had opened and they had stepped into another world. A world where black swans and white swans were close friends. Their minds raced ahead into unimaginable territory. What if Brown Rat and Black Rat could be friends. Madness, thought the rats. Utter, total madness. On their different banks they let out a sigh of disgust and turned to race home. But each met the pathway at the same time, and they collided into one another, sending each other catapulting into the nettle patch. Brown Rat was quite dazed, and Black Rat came quickly over, stroking her head and asking in a most concerned manner if she was all right and if there was anything she could do or bring. Brown Rat gradually regained her composure, and she too began asking urgently if Black Rat was injured in any way, looking carefully over her body to check for any damage. At the same time, they stopped and realized that they were, for the first time, talking to each other, and more than that, they were being kind too. They started to laugh, just a tiny hint of mirth to start with, but then which grew stronger and louder, until Henry was convinced that all the animals of the forest must have heard it. They had discovered that new world. White Swan and Black Swan were celebrating their friendship on the water, while Black Rat and Brown Rat were discovering theirs on the land. The dragonflies and butterflies brought colour to the air, and the buttercups and daisies glowed bright within the lush green grasses. Oh, life was going to be so much the richer in this new world of togetherness and friendship, where all the different colours only made life more wonderful still.